Hello, and welcome to Reinvent Midlife through travel. I'd like to encourage you to travel as a way to reinvent your life, and I'll show you how it's affordable. Just so you know, there's nothing for sale here. At the end of our conversation, I'll show you how to download a free copy of 10 delightful ways travel can change your life. Once a year, go someplace you've never been before. So take a moment to slow down, turn off distractions, and just breathe. So that's me, Jan. The little guy is Newman. He is now 15 years old, and he's the reason we currently travel in an RV. So I'd like to encourage you to travel more as a way to break down our fear of strangers and to learn that friendly people are everywhere. There seems to be a lot of fear in the world today. So when I say go travel, I mean slow travel. I'm not talking about around the world in 7 days. We boomers crave freedom and want to leave jobs we no longer enjoy. We want to travel, but sometimes we're afraid we can't afford it. So I discovered that we really can afford to travel, and we can reinvent our lives while we travel. In fact, as I reflected back on my travels abroad in my 20s, I realized I'd already used some of the so-called secrets to do this. I had just forgotten them. You may not be aware that there is already a movement underway of people actively engaged in saving and making money while they travel. I'd like to share some of what I've learned with you. But first, I'd like to tell you my own travel story. If you'd like, you can close your eyes and travel along with me. So as a teenager from Northern Ontario, I managed to explore Paris before I saw Toronto. I went to France with my French class, and life was never the same after I got my first glimpse of the bigger world. In my 20s, I returned to Paris and spent a year backpacking through Europe. This was pre-internet, so I had no cell phone or laptop. And it was wonderful. I met friendly people everywhere I went. In Spain, I was offered a villa rent-free for as long as I liked. I just had to look after the place. I had to force myself to leave after 6 weeks, or I wouldn't have seen anywhere else. So this was my introduction to homesteading before I knew it even had a name. I was invited to stay with a new friend in Germany for a week and with more new friends in the Canary Islands. They even paid for me to travel to Tenerife for Mardi Gras. There are now many formal types of home exchanges and people who will host you while you travel. I was given private tours of bodegas, which are wine cellars, the Alhambra, the Delphi Oracle, the catacombs, and even the underground sewers. I took planes, trains, buses, and automobiles. I walked a lot, and I hitchhiked. I even managed to get a 3-week job at Selfridges in London. But it was the Greek islands that had the biggest impact. There, sitting playing backgammon in a poor seaside village, it was a discussion with an old man that made me ponder. He asked me if I thought Canadians seemed happier than Greeks. It wasn't until I returned home that his question had the greatest impact. Once I was back in the land of plenty, I saw just how unhappy my fellow citizens seemed to be, especially on the subway, trudging back and forth to work. It made me think of the simple life the Greek villagers lived and how happy they were. It made me recall the fresh figs, their rich, tart, yellow-tinged yogurt drizzled with honey, the ripe, juicy tomatoes, and the feta cheese smothered in olive oil. It made me think of the donkeys and of the long, winding footpaths, and of sitting outdoors in the town square playing backgammon. There were no freeways, city lights, or endless material comforts. So I remember when I lived free to roam with all my worldly possessions on my back, and I long for those days again, and I would like to take you there with me. So you can open your eyes now if you've got them closed. I really like this quote from Chris Hadfield, and I'll read it to you. You should be awestruck as often as possible and put yourself in a position to be awestruck. Go walk into the largest cathedral, go to a catacomb, go to the top of the highest tower, and look down on a clear day and remind yourself of the enormity of things you don't understand and the feelings of wonder and awe that inspire us to do so many of the things we do. Nature is truly awesome. It's one of my favorite things about road trips. So who's this conversation for? It's for you if you crave adventure, if you want to create a better world, if you want to reinvent your life and have meaningful work to support it. I've read that many people who retire without a plan end up spending a lot of the time watching TV, doing work around the house, or shopping for things they don't need. I think travel is a better plan. The United Nations World Tourism Organization says travel can be a force for good. The UN has designated 2017 as the year of sustainable tourism with the intention of using travel to sustain natural heritage and cultural values and to develop a better understanding of diversity and to celebrate it. And this aligns with my own reasons to encourage more travel adventures. Travel helps with self-knowledge, as well as a greater understanding of different cultures and perspectives. If more of us traveled, we'd likely create a better world. So I think travel can be a force for good. Many countries now rely on tourism for employment. As a career coach, I've witnessed how unemployment erodes people's self-esteem. So my desire is for everyone to find meaningful work to support the life they want to live. I know many boomer women dream of having more time to enjoy world travel, but are afraid that we just can't afford it. So you want to travel, so what can we do? Learn from other women who combine affordable travel with enjoyable work. Travel is also an enjoyable way to reinvent your life. There are lots of work options available, and women aged 55 plus are turning to self-employment in greater numbers than ever before. Just a reminder that slow travel is the way to go. Slow travel is best because you'll live like a local, you'll pay local prices, you can connect with the culture and immerse yourself in the local environment. It allows you to savor the experience and get to know your neighbors, and it can lead to the best work opportunities. So I want to share what I see as the 3 biggest benefits of travel for boomer women. And I'll count them down from 3 to 1, what I see as the biggest benefit. So we'll start with benefit number 3. You can actually save money. Travel can cost less than staying at home. There are many countries you can visit where a dollar can stretch much farther than at home. I noticed this even while trading a Canadian winter for Southern California. When you don't need to pay for heat and cold weather gear, you can save money. Fresh fruit and veggies were less than half the price we're used to, and were a top quality that's rare to find at home in the winter. We lived on salads for most of the 4 months we were there. You can see that's me with Newman. If you travel to a country such as Mexico, Thailand, or Ecuador, your accommodation costs will be less than half the cost of similar accommodation at home. You might decide to even rent out your own place to pay for your travels while you're away. An increasingly popular way to save money is by house-sitting pets for other homeowners. Friends of mine from Victoria sold their home and traveled across Canada, the United States, and Europe for 3 years with back-to-back house sits. In fact, they just returned a few months ago. Benefit number 2, you can make an income while you travel. There are lots of millennials enjoying what they call a digital nomad lifestyle, and boomers are catching up with them. I've also met women teaching yoga, Zumba, water aerobics, selling their baking or artwork at swap meets. Others blog or write a book while they travel. I help women decide the work that's the best fit for them. So about 5 years ago, Anne McKinnell, also from Victoria, quit her full-time job, sold her home, and took her camera on the road with her husband, dogs, and RV. She now teaches digital photography courses online. Doreen Pengrax is from Manitoba. She has created work for herself, writing about chocolate, and now she leads chocolate tours. Patrice Wynn sells fair trade arts and crafts from Mexico. Lara Flanagan is a freelance writer and researcher. Jim and Jane Ann Engel teach business English. And Donna Dixon is an artist who teaches art classes, also in Mexico. So you can turn your own skills and interests into an income. There are 2 things that tend to keep people stuck when it comes to work options. The first one is thinking that there are no work options. And the second is thinking that there are too many work options. The reality is there are lots of options. You just need to decide on the best fit for you. The number 1 benefit, I believe, is that you can find your own voice. For me, this is the best benefit travel offers. You can try on a new persona in a place where no one knows your name. You can try being the person you wish you were and see if it fits as the new you. Leaving your everyday routine behind will mean rarely feeling bored. We only really test our potential when we step outside of our comfort zone. Our confidence grows when we replace fear with curiosity. Travel can hone your problem-solving and decision-making skills. You become more flexible and adaptable. You'll deepen your intuition and become better at nonverbal communication. And time alone can help you turn inward to reevaluate your life. Foreign travel will test you and show you who you really are. You can learn to paint, do yoga, meditate, write a book, study Italian, or choose a whimsical path of photographing doors and keyholes. The possibilities are wide open. Think about the impact travel had on Julia Child. While living in France, she transformed herself into a student of French cuisine that evolved into her becoming a household name. Travel can open your eyes to new ways of doing things. Experiencing other cultures can change your perception of the world. You'll learn to trust others and discover that the world is a friendly place. You'll discover it's easier to make friends when you travel. So imagine having friends around the world. You'll begin to understand that what makes for a rich life are people and experiences, not possessions. In fact, our possessions can prevent us from being mobile. Travel can ignite your passion. You may not like the book Eat, Pray, Love, but I hope you like its message. To follow your passion and interests. So what passion and interests can you follow? Perhaps underwater photography while snorkeling? Confidence grows when we replace fear with curiosity. I encourage you to venture outside your comfort zone and follow your intuition. You can gain a broader perspective. Travel opens your eyes to new ways of doing things. Local entrepreneurs can ignite your own creativity. You'll learn we're all more alike than different. You'll discover the world is a friendly place, and you'll see people through a different lens. You can get back in touch with the awe and wonder of childhood. You can tune into the world around you. More time outside helps you fall in love with nature. Animals can teach you to live in the present. Big skies and tall trees reveal our place in the world. Enhance your self-knowledge. Slow travel can clear your mind and help you view your life in a new way. Time outside your comfort zone will reveal you to yourself, and you'll be surprised at your strength. You'll likely reevaluate your priorities, and without the influence of friends and family around you, you'll be able to make decisions of who you want to be. So one of the gifts of time alone in nature is you can clear your mind. Just a reminder that you can make friends around the world. It's actually easy to make friends when you travel, especially if you learn a few words in the local language. People are friendly everywhere if you smile. Total strangers bond much more quickly. So imagine having friends around the world. Would you like to have friends around the world? You can become happier and healthier. Experiences make you happier than possessions. A break in routine reduces stress and increases optimism. Travel is a full body, mind, and spirit experience. It often involves having more exercise and fresh produce. New learning can help rewire your brain, and social interaction contributes to healthy aging. So one thing I can teach you is how to live well on $30,000 a year. So you've likely done a lot of armchair travel. Have you read the books A Movable Feast or Eat, Pray, Love? The Alchemist and the Great Railway Bazaar can also give you itchy feet. Have you read another book that makes you want to pack up and head out on the open road? Have you watched the movies Shirley Valentine or Under the Tuscan Sun? I think Easy Rider may be the film that launched our wanderlust. And the bucket list seems to have triggered everyone I know to get on with their own list. There's actually some interesting research that was revealed in a study with the intriguing title, Waiting for Merlot. And the subtitle is Anticipatory Consumption of Experiential and Material Purchases. The study looked at how anticipation affects us. It turns out we're impatient to get material goods delivered quickly. However, we enjoy anticipating experiences like an upcoming vacation. The anticipation actually adds to our enjoyment. So you might want to plan your future as a series of enjoyable explorations. So does this sound like you? We travel, some of us forever, to seek other places, other lives, other souls. Travel will grow your self-knowledge and can help reset your lifestyle and work priorities. I'll be offering long-stay retreats to do just that. Walking the labyrinth is a meandering but purposeful path. My intention is to help you come home to yourself. So thanks for joining me. Live without regret. And if you want to travel, go travel. And I hope to see you somewhere down the road. If you want to include more travel in your life, I hope to meet you somewhere along the way. So download a free copy of 10 Delightful Ways Travel Can Change Your Life. And bye for now.